solved ice in Trackmania, how I solved ice and everything else in Trackmania, and this video, which is random slide outs aren't real. The danger wedge is. I'm looking at the chat. It has a timestamp, but oh well. Alright, let's watch this video while I get some food. I've already seen most of it. It's super fascinating.
Sliding out above any other mechanic in Trackmania has to be the worst. As a player, there's almost no feedback given to you about what's happening, and
this decided the World Cup finals.
It's not much better.
That was the last round of World Cup final.
The Trackmania car is fully automatic, and on every other surface in the game, the car will gear up or down whenever it wants to, based on the engine's
Turned it a bit up.
On ice, though, the rules are different. The gear the car wants to go into is still based on its speed. That much hasn't changed. However, whether the car actually shifts or not is also decided by the angle that you're sliding at. In the past, Mika has talked about the 90-degree shield. And Mika is right, the 90-degree shield is real. But unfortunately, that's just the beginning of the real story of ice gearing. The core mechanic at play is a safe zone, where the car will only gear at certain angles. For the lower safe zone, this is mostly, but not completely.
What we're looking at is if the car is, so if you're sliding on an angle sharper than this or less than this, it will gear change. But if you stay in this area, you're fine. What this guy figured out is they have this small area here where if the angle of your ice slide is between these two small lines, you slide out.
Determined by the engine's RPM. When you're sliding at around 90 degrees or more, the engine is fully spinning out. But as you drop from this slide, you can start to hear the engine try to catch the speed that we're really going.
Why that's there, nobody knows.
Slide out while gearing up here, but we found it to be less of a risk than the other danger zones. And unfortunately, this is where things just stop making sense. Just above 90 degrees, at about
Can we get some hearts in chat for Nadeo?
Certified Nadeo physics moment, the danger wedge. Between 92 and 94 degrees, the car may gear up. And if it does, it's pretty likely to slide out entirely. The danger wedge isn't perfectly consistent. You won't always slide out. But if you start underneath it or extend a slide within it by brake tapping, beware. Dropping through this zone from above is safe, though. The danger wedge varies pretty significantly by speed. At its widest, it's around 3 degrees, and at its narrowest, just under 1. Past this wedge, we reach the upper safe zone. Between these two lines, your car will hold whatever gear it's in indefinitely, just like the lower safe zone. This line starts at 123 degrees, but it drops all the way down to around 106 depending on your speed. This gearing isn't instant. Usually, it takes around 1/5 of a second of driving in the danger zone at speed for the car to gear.
It's just crazy that this has been there for so long, and we all know ice is like weird, but this is like literally what it is, and it's just bad.
Gearing more likely.
It's just bad.
Going from high to low.
Dude, bring this face. I'm bringing it out of the camera so you don't look at me eating, because I think that's weird.
To worry about the danger
so now I can duck down. You see?
The green line you've seen is the point
I can duck down and you won't see it.
Aim for it.
You won't see me gobble up this food.
Just a few degrees makes a huge difference.
This pasta, let me tell you, is so unflattering to look at someone eat.
Just look at how much the acceleration drops as I cut too far inside. So, practically speaking, what should you do? Whenever you're sliding near the threshold of a gear, try to keep the car inside of the lower safe zone. You can extend this to the ideal line to gain more speed, but know that you run the risk of hitting a gear and potentially sliding out. If you have to slide more than this, make sure to skip past the danger wedge into the overslide safe zone, and don't overdo it. If you push this too far, you will slide out. Honestly, this is going to be hard to see or feel without having this tool, especially when you can't even know if you're going fast enough to be in danger of gearing in the first place. If that's still not enough, and you need to go tighter but you're going too fast, try releasing steering just for a moment.
He announces something very cool in this video.
Hopefully enough that you're under the gear threshold. That way, you can slide all the way without worrying about gearing up. Here's a clip Ruben got that shows off how far you can push this pretty well. First, we get into 0th gear, and then
0th gear.
Keep accelerating. By staying in the lower safe zone, Ruben was able to get all the way up to 290 speed while being in gear 0. They're able to manipulate the lower safe zone quite a bit to pick up speed from beyond it closer to the ideal angle, but eventually the gear does come. There's no danger wedge drawn in this clip, so you'll just have to imagine it being there. In the end, it's the lower limit that causes the gear anyway. Before
this goes from 0 to 4.
Let's talk about this plugin's release. OpenPlanet is going to be releasing a new learning mode where you'll be able to use these types of plugins in a safe...
So there are OpenPlanet plugins that are essentially cheating, but they're in a learning mode, so you can't use them online, no cup of the day, etc. Just for learning.
Only environment.
For learning.
You won't be able to join servers or upload records to leaderboards.
So this, the speed slide helpers, etc.
And everything else this tool can do.
So you can actually learn iSlide angles intuitively. That's really cool.
This graph is the full story of the million-ish data points we've collected for this. This is incredible.
And this gets very, very heavy.
Graph being the moment the car changes gears.
Tell me if you understand it.
Before that being, well, before that. Let's zoom in on the region that we're really interested in, from around 80 degrees to about 150 degrees. You can see the effect of the upper safe zone.
I've seen this IRL.
Inside of it,
it's called Northern Lights.
But everywhere else, gears galore. But
Northern Lights, yeah.
That zone, we have what looks like the danger.
But that's basically the
look at all of these slide outs coming
idea of the video. If you check this though,
what's going on here? Let's just look at
go click on the original video and give it some love, because this guy literally solved why ice is weird.
Speed against the angle that the gear change happened. The danger wedge is fully apparent here. There's no getting around it. We can zoom in further to see the way this shifts over time, with surprisingly smooth curves. This view is the core of what I pulled my values from. The lower slide limit is a little more nebulous. There's not a hard line like there is for the upper regions of the danger wedge and the overslide limit.
I'm gonna start using that.
A major point I'm glossing over here is what makes a good gear change good and what makes a bad gear change bad. Honestly, I don't really have a good answer yet of why some are better than others, but, well, some are better than others. Sometimes the car shifts from first to fourth.
If you look up the Trackmania World Cup Finals 2021 spoilers, I'm just gonna skip to the last round. That is not it. This one. Oh, that's a familiar voice. Side corner there, but the car did not collide. That's my stream. Through, and he takes first right now. And we go to new school. Basically, gotta avoid the
Oh
wait, no, hang on.
Just has to hope that they will deny Carl Jr. as we go into the ice. Mudda has a bad ice slide. It's only
Otak, first place. Goes for an ice slide.
Otak.
90 degrees.
The 17-year-old does
hits the danger wedge and slides out. The entire video we just watched. Otak has a 0.4 lead going into the ice. There's a chance he denies Carl Jr. here, and that, you know, Mime who DNF'd gets another chance at becoming world champion.
He misses the ice line, and Carl Jr. is the
Look at Mime's reaction to the slide out.
He misses the ice line, and Carl Jr. is the 5-time champion.
No way! That is incredible.
Despair.
Carl Jr.
What could have been?
The 5-time world champion title. Otak,
and the crowd goes wild.
In the ending, was not able to keep.